let me down. Let me down.
Alrighty, so this is the 1 hour special. Woo! So this is my thanks to all of y'all who have gotten my channel this far in this such short amount of time. Thank y'all so much. And let's not stall this any longer. Y'all have waited long enough for this. So when Naruto was 12, he had failed the test to become a ninja many times. Naruto was sulking. He was walking home as he looked more depressed than normally. And this is awfully depressed, so... And the only thing he could think of was to cheer him up is Ichiraku ramen, the food that he loved more than anything. When Naruto had arrived to the ramen stand, he recognized a man sitting on the stool, waiting his meal. "Hey, Mizuki-sensei, what are you doing here?" Naruto asked as he looking up and confused, since he had never seen his sensei here before. "Ah, you see, Naruto, I'm here because I'm waiting for you," the Chunin had said. "Naruto, I shouldn't be telling you this, but there's a secret test for the Genin exams," he said as the bowl of ramen lands in front of him. "Oh, what is it? Please tell me." Naruto jumping up and down at the thought that him still being able to finally become a shinobi of his village. "You need to sneak into the Hokage's secret room and take a big scroll of sealing and bring it to me in the outskirts of the village," Mizuki said with a wicked grin threatening to reach his lips. "Hi, sensei," Naruto said as he ran towards the Hokage's tower. Now, Naruto might be a loud mouth, but when it comes to it, Naruto is still trained in stealth and the way of shinobi arts. Naruto is especially good in stealth trainings, so sneaking past the guards and getting away was easy for him. Once Naruto was in the forest, he had time till Mizuki was there, so Naruto decided to peek in the scroll. What he saw was many jutsu. He looked very interesting to him, but the first thing that really caught his eye was a technique called Nen. As Naruto kept reading, he saw the description of it. This technique is called Nen. It's a form of chakra manipulation that transforms the user chakra to Nen, another type of life force. When the user performs it, this Nen can be different types of. These are the types: enhancement, transmutation, conjuring, emission, manipulating, and specialization. The user takes to tell which types he or she is simple. You get a glass of water and you put it on a leaf on top. You pour your aura into the glass and see what it does in reaction. If you are an enhancer, if you are an enhancement user, the water will overflow. If you are a transmutation, it will turn sweet. If you are a conjuring, it will change shape. If you are manipulation, the leaf will move. Naruto didn't get to read the rest because he saw another jutsu that looked interesting called the Flying Thunder God. This move allows the user to teleport to a seal that's connected to their blood of the user. The range is almost endless, and the most famous user of this technique is the 4th Hokage. When used, this jutsu can end the war by himself. This is proven when the 4th gets his nickname, the Yellow Flash, as he is taken down the 3rd Great Shinobi War by himself. "Oi, Naruto," a voice directly behind him. "Iruka-sensei, what are you doing here? I thought Mizuki-sensei said he's gonna meet me," Naruto said, looking up innocently. "Mizuki? I knew it'd be behind him," Iruka said as he bent down looking at Naruto. "Naruto, Mizuki tricked you. You stole the scroll of importance, real important. He looked down, Naruto in the eye. Aruka, what are you doing here? Mizuki said as he landed on a tree with his hand on a Demon Wind Shuriken, getting ready to throw it at the pair. You tricked me, Naruto yelled at his old sensei. Of course I did. I was gonna kill you and take the scroll and give it to Lord Orochimaru. But now I'm going to have to kill you both, Mizuki said as he threw the Demon Wind Shuriken towards the two. But before Aruka could react, Naruto blew up in a white and blue aura surrounding him. You could see lightning and electricity crackle around him as the air itself seems to become more electric as he vanished out of sight. Naruto had grabbed the shuriken out of the air and sent it back towards Mizuki, where he couldn't block or dodge since it was moving too fast for his eyes to see. But only to let it hit him as he saw a look in Naruto's eyes. It was anger and bloodlust. They were red with slits in the middle. Mizuki, you're a scum. You don't deserve to be rank of shinobi, Naruto said in a cold voice that made Iruka's sweat drop. Naruto went next to where Mizuki had landed off the tree, and he looked at his old sensei. It's time for your judgment, Naruto said as he brought his hand towards the sky. As he did, you could see electricity crackle between his fingers. As he brought his hand down, one swift motion, Mizuki was blasted by multiple bolts of lightning from a clear sky. Naruto, I think he's dead, Iruka said as he slowly walked towards Naruto. His aura had calmed down at this point, and he looked normal until his now white hair instead of yellow. Naruto, you are now a genin of the Hidden Leaf, Iruka said as he smiled looking at his favorite student. I am? Naruto said, jumping up and down excitedly. Yay! I'm finally one step closer to becoming my dream. Alright, guys, this is where I'm a... Nah, never mind. There was something I was going to say, but never mind. So, it's the next day. Everyone's sitting in class, waiting for their teacher, but instead of all the normal conversations, everyone's talking about Naruto. And not the way they used to. No, everyone is talking about his hair and how white it is. In the middle of nowhere, everyone heard, okay, sit down and shut up, coming from the front door of the class, this of course being Iruka. Now, good morning now, everyone. Today you're going to get put into teams of 3 and assigned Jonin instructors. You will be in this team till you become Chunin. No more complaints and learn to get along. At this point, Naruto fell asleep in the back of the class, and just in time to hear Team 7, Naruto Uzumaki, Sasuke Uchiha, Sakura Haruno, led by Kakashi Hatake. Now, this is what if Naruto doesn't see Sakura as a crush. No, he doesn't even like her. Most of the guys, he thinks she's annoying. But he really didn't know too much about Sasuke. Besides that, he just stuck up because it was the last of his clan. As the time passed and everyone's new senseis came and got them, picked them up, their team, it was only three of them left of Team 7. Since Iruka had explained Kakashi's laziness, they had all already had enough of it when it finally came and picked them up. Kakashi, man, why are you 3 hours late? Iruka said in a sad tone. Path of life, Kakashi said low in the back of his head. Team 7, meet me on the roof, Kakashi said before disappearing in a poof of smoke and leaves. The 3 teams of Team 7 stood up and walked to the roof of the academy to meet Kakashi. A couple of minutes later, Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura were looking at the one-eyed Jonin. So, let's start by telling me your dislikes, likes, and dreams for the future, Kai said, looking at the trio of Genin. I'll go first, the pink banshee said. I like a certain raven-haired boy with dislikes of Naruto, that blondie that keeps trying to give my Sasuke, and my dreams are to be strong enough Kunoichi for him. Sakura ended while looking at the Uchiha. Oh please, everyone dislikes you, even the emo lord. Sasuke says, not Sasuke, Naruto says, smirking. I'll go next. My likes are ramen. Anyone who doesn't treat me like I'm a monster for something I essentially in control of, and learning new jutsu. My dislikes are loud, annoying banshees with most of the villagers. And lastly, my dream is to master my special techniques and become the greatest Hokage. Naruto said, smiling at the last part. Secret techniques, huh? Kakashi thought. I don't have any likes. My dislikes are loud people. My dreams are to kill a certain someone, Sasuke said with his hands together. Alright, I guess that's good enough for now. Meet me at Training Ground 14 tomorrow and don't eat breakfast, the copy ninja, had said before shinswing away. The next day, all the three teens had arrived at the training ground and waited an extra 30 minutes for their sensei. When he had finally arrived, he tried to give them all the same excuse for being late, but it didn't. All it did was make Teen 7's sweat drop. Kakashi had explained the bell test, and they'd get ready to begin. Like in canon, Sasuke and Sakura hid, and Naruto stayed in the open. Now, Naruto and Kakashi would begin their taijutsu battle, with Naruto flying towards him. This kid's good, even for a Genin. He's kinda keeping him up with me, Kakashi thought. Naruto jumps into a backflip, getting some room in between him and Kakashi. Once he had enough space, Naruto closed his eyes. For a few minutes later, his hair began to glow, and he see electricity around him. Huh? How? He's doing this just like the Raikage's lightning cloak, Kakashi thought in amazement. Is it possible that he learned it? Is this one of his secret techniques? Naruto put his hands together and pulled them apart, and in the middle made a spark. And the spark began to form into a long staff made of pure lightning. Once it had finished, Naruto blurs to everyone's vision, even Kakashi's. He didn't even have time to pull up his headband to block the hits from Naruto and the staff. On each contact with the staff, everyone could hear cracks of lightning cutting the air. One to the head, chest, knees, and the final blow Naruto deals with the staff is to Kakashi's back, pushing him to his knees. Naruto makes the staff disappear and he raises his hand towards the sky. But instead of lightning coming down, Naruto shoots a bolt up, and it morphs itself into hundreds of lightning strikes, waiting for their master's command to come down. Kakashi's in there look up for the first time in years. Kakashi feels the fear of death. Sasuke, get the bells! Naruto yells. And if you move, I'll make them come down, Naruto says, looking deep into Kakashi's eye. Fine, you pass, Kakashi said, out of breath. Naruto disperses the attack and just sits down, as for he just used a lot of energy holding the attack against the fight with his sensei. Alright, you did good. Now, all three of you are officially Genin, Kakashi said. Tomorrow, Team 7 has their first official mission as Genin. he said, smiling. Hi, all three of them said in unison. So time passes, and it's been around 2 weeks, and both Naruto and Sasuke are tired of doing D rank missions because they think their abilities are being wasted. As they were about to get another D rank mission, Naruto steps up and says, Old man, we are tired of doing D ranks, and we need higher ranked missions. Naruto said, looking at the Hokage. Our abilities can be used to do bigger missions, ones with more danger. Sasuke chimes in. It took a while for the old man to give in at their pleading, but he did eventually. Fine, I'll give y'all C rank. It's to take Tazuna here to his home and stay until the bridge is building complete. What? These kids are gonna escort me? I'm better going off alone, Tazuna said as he walked in. This made Naruto mad as he tried his best not to leak any key killer intent for those who do not know. You'll be fine. My Genin are skilled enough to protect you, Kakashi said, looking at Tazuna. Alright, if you say so, the old man said. Okay, team, meet me in the front gates in 1 hour. Packed for 2 weeks, we'll be moving at civilian pace, said Kakashi, looking at Team 7. Hi, all three of them had said, leaving the room to get to their mission. 1 hour later, the team of Genin are at the gates of Konoha. Everyone ready? Let's go. 6 hours later, Kakashi, they are walking, and it's been about around 6 hours. Kakashi sees a puddle, and most people wouldn't think twice, but it had been a dry season in the area, and there shouldn't be a puddle. Before he could say anything, two people came out of the puddle and sprung an attack against Kakashi. He was about to defend himself before he could move. He saw a spear of lightning land in front of him and shock the area around it, leaving him alone. Somehow, the lightning left Kakashi alone, as the area around him was completely electrified. Kakashi-sensei, Naruto said, still in a throwing stance. Thanks, Kakashi had said. Once the lightning stopped, Kakashi went over and knocked out the shinobi and tied them up, putting them into a storage seal made for capture, and put it into his back pocket. Good job on the attack, Naruto. Thanks, Sensei, the white-haired kid said. They kept walking until they saw a heavy mist roll in. And this was confusing, as there's no reason for a mist. Duck, Kakashi had said as a giant blade headed towards them. Everyone ducked in time as they saw a giant blade get stuck into a tree with a man with black hair, bandages around his mouth and neck. He wore no shirt and had light blue pants with black lines going down them. This man was the rogue ninja Zabuza, member of the Seven Swordsmen of the Mist. Well, isn't it Kakashi the Sharingan, the man with 1,000 jutsu? It's an honor to be the one that kills you, said the man with one sword. Zabuza jumps off the sword and grabs the handle with ease as he pulls it out of the tree and launches towards Kakashi in one swift motion. Protect Tazuna, Kakashi said as he lifted his headband, revealing a three-tomo Sharingan. Kakashi and Zabuza's clash between the two was heavy, and they were on equal ground, neither of them letting up until Zabuza jumps back, landing on the water of the lake next to them. Within seconds, he flew through hand signs. Kakashi did the same. Within seconds, two dragons made of water were racing towards each other. Once they met, with a giant explosion as they cancel each other out. Zabuza slipped away and got behind Kakashi, putting him in a water prison. Naruto and Sasuke saw this as they dashed forward, Sasuke acting as one-to-one Sharingan, and Naruto surrounded his hands with lightning, making a Chidori-like attack. But this is not the Chidori, so... Zabuza saw this and made 5 water clones to fight off the 2 Genin, thinking that would be enough. Naruto was cutting through them almost like nothing, but Sasuke was having a bit of trouble, so they backed up and got distance between the clones. This is when they came up with a plan from canon. Now, Naruto slams his hand down on the ground, creating a smoke cloud with the dust that was on the ground. Out from the crowd, Sasuke throws a Fuma Shuriken towards the original Zabuza, but he easily dodged it, and without taking his hand away, he let it pass, but as soon as it was past his head, it poofed. Naruto kicked Zabuza in the back of the head, making his hand take away from the water prison. Now with Kakashi free, he dashes forward, but to see Senbon fly out of the tree and hit the black-haired man in the neck, killing him. They all look up to see a tree with the woman in Anbu mask looking up. I am a shinobi from the hidden mist. I am taking this body back since he is a rogue. She said, "Okay, thanks for the help," Kakashi said. "Team, let's keep going," the Jonin said towards his team. 2 hours later, Team 7 had arrived at a small village, and Naruto noticed the villagers depressed and the lack of food. Since he had been in the same situation, he decided to do something. "Hey guys, I'll meet you there soon, okay?" As Tazuna handed him the directions to his house, Naruto said thanks, and he ran off towards the woods. 30 minutes later, Tazuna had walked out of the forest with deer and rabbits. Not Tazuna, I just said Tazuna, didn't I? 30 minutes later, Naruto walked out of the forest with deer, rabbits tied up and killed. He walked until he saw a restaurant. "Hey, can I cook these here for everyone?" the white-haired shinobi asked. They weirdly agreed, and an hour later, the depressed and grim looks of all the villagers had been replaced with small smiles and laughs as everyone ate the food Naruto cooked. But when 2 thugs walked into the area, Naruto could see the smiles fade. He looked and followed the looks of 2 people. "Hey, what's all this?" a thug asked, as he picked up a kid and threw him a few feet away. "Who said y'all could do this?" the second one asked. "They didn't need to ask," Naruto said as he walked up. "Kid, who do you think you are? Or do you know who we are?" No, and I don't care," Naruto says he blazed past them, killing them both. Naruto reached Tazuna's house as he walked in and saw everyone around the table eating. "Naruto, join us," Sakura said. "No thanks, I already ate," Naruto replies as he walked up the stairs, going to sleep. 3 days later, Naruto and Team 7 were in the woods when Kakashi started talking. "You need to learn chakra control, so you'll be able to do things like this," Kakashi said, as he put 1 foot on the tree and started walking straight up it. "Wow, how are you doing that?" Sakura asked Kakashi. Naruto walked up to the tree and started walking. He was about halfway up there. He flew off the tree in the opposite direction. Jeez, because so much chakra, no wonder he had trouble controlling it, Kakashi said, with sweat dropping. Sakura slips once but catches herself and makes it to the top. Sasuke can't handle it when he falls on his face like multiple times, laughing to the amusement of Naruto, who got it on his third try trying. Once everyone got a hang of it, they all went to Taza's home and ate dinner. The next morning, Naruto was walking around the village after patrolling the area around the woods, and he hears news about Gato coming with an army. Naruto, hearing this, decides to investigate, as he decides to try out a new technique he's been practicing in private. Naruto puts his hand out towards the sky and a bolt of lightning struck him. The civilians saw this and ran towards him as they saw his entire body covered in lightning sparking around him. You know how Deku does full cowling? That's what Naruto looks like, but with white and blue lightning instead of green. His bright white hair is spiking up and glowing. Lightning Den style. Lightning Force, Naruto said as he blurred away at the speeds eyes couldn't follow. Within 20 minutes of searching, Naruto found Gato's hideout and snuck in. Now, Lightning Force does multiple things. It enhances speed tenfold. The user's reflexes are heightened to the max. It boosts the attack power of the user's attack as well. And with Naruto's specialty in infiltration, he got in the area with ease. Naruto saw Zabuza and a girl training together. Huh? Zabuza isn't dead? Of course. The Anbu in the mist. It's the girl. It makes so much sense, Naruto said as he put his hands together. He pulled them apart. Two swords with towards each other. And as he pulled them away, he smacked a butterfly, a sword, and made a pure lightning appear. Naruto then dropped down and dashed towards the two missing ninja, with Lightning Force still active. Half an hour later, Naruto slowly walked out of the compound. His snow-white hair had now dyed red from the blood of the battle. It was now over. He walked back towards Taza's house, just to walk in and collapse onto the ground in front of everyone. Naruto! They all yelled at the same time, getting up to check him. Kakashi carried Naruto to his sleeping bag to put him down. A week had passed, Naruto finally waking up. Tazuna is nearly done with the bridge he's building. Guys, what did I miss? Naruto asked as he walked up towards his team while they are standing on the finished parts of the bridge. Oh, so the dope isn't dead, Sasuke said. Naruto! Sakura yelled at her full volume, making birds fly out of the trees. Naruto just sidestepped her as she tried to run and hug her, and let her hit the mud. Kakashi snickered and looked up from his book to see his student looking healthy. Naruto, follow me, Kakashi said as he started to walk out. Naruto, you know I love you like a brother, right? Kakashi said as he looked into his sensei's son. Flashback. Naruto was sitting down meditating in Training Ground 14 when he sensed Kakashi walking towards him. Hey, Kakashi, what's up? He said, uncrossing his legs from the lotus position. Naruto, we need to talk, Kakashi said. You're old and strong enough to protect yourself, he said. Kakashi sat down and explained everything. So, my father is the fourth Hokage. I have the Kyuubi sealed inside me. Naruto asked as he looked at a hint of sadness. Naruto, your father is my sensei, and the most powerful man I've ever met. I doubt that your life that you have lived is the one he wanted for you. He wanted you to have an amazing life. He wanted you to be treated as a hero. Now, Kakashi then explained his life that he has lived and all the trouble he has gone through. Everything about Obito and Ren. Brother, Naruto asked once Kakashi was done. This caught Kakashi off guard, and he didn't expect Naruto to call him that. Yeah, I like it. I like that. Kakashi said as he in the flashback. Now Naruto, I want you to tell me the truth. Why are you covered in blood? Kakashi asked and worried. Zabuza is still alive. Or he was. Naruto tells, it autocorrected to yells. Naruto tells Kakashi the events of that night. Wow, I knew you were powerful, but to take on an A rank and a B rank along with more thugs? Kakashi says in amusement of the power of his student. They laugh and walk back towards the bridge to meet with the rest of Team 7. It took Tazuna 3 more days to finish the bridge, and on the last day, an army was there to meet them on their way home. This was Gato and his men. Now tell me, why when I looked at the cameras that weren't taken down, I saw a white and orange kid take down all of my men that were inside the warehouse? Gato said with an angry expression. Because you're causing trouble and chaos to this area, and you need to be stopped, Tazuna yelled at the man. Stay here, protect Tazuna and their workers, Kakashi had said. He walked towards the army, taking a kunai out of his pouch and lifting his headband with the other. Brother, you and everyone else needs to evacuate a 5-mile radius, Naruto said in a serious tone. Kakashi looked at the boys. He wondered what he was up to. So he saw Naruto reach his hand into the air. This caused Kakashi and others that saw it to look up. And when he did, he gave him a look of pure terror. It was a million bolts of lightning suspended in the air, awaiting for their command. You need to get as far away as possible, Naruto said, concentrating on the attack he was ready to make. Yeah, Kakashi says. He grabbed the workers and pulled them under his arms, flying through the trees to get away from his student. Now, once he looked back, he saw Sakura and Tazuna, Sasuke carrying Tazuna. When they were a good distance away, they landed and felt the ground shake, trembling from the power. Soon after, a flash. Silence. Then a minute later, they got hit by a shockwave as an explosion went off. For a few minutes, they just stood there, sat in quiet, wondering what happened. All until Naruto dropped down from a tree with lightning around him starting to fade. Lightning then, million bolt wave. He had said in a quiet voice. No one questioned it. They didn't want to. But they were about to find out exactly what happened. When they went back to take Tazuna and the workers home, what they saw gave them all faces of disbelief. The only thing that was in the area was a crater 5 miles wide, 6 miles deep. Naruto had done that with one attack. He had taken out the entire army, along with Gato. It was 2 weeks later. Kakashi and Team 7 had returned to Konoha, giving their mission statement. Kakashi had told the whole man everything about Naruto and how he took down an army in one move. Kakashi and the old Hokage had gotten talking, and they decided to make a move. Now, Naruto, Sakura, and Sasuke were all training on Training Ground 14 once again, sparring with each other, training their aim with kunai, until their sensei walked up. Okay, everyone, next big thing for y'all. Kakashi waited in suspense. The tuning exams, Kakashi said with a smile. Now, Naruto was disbelief. He didn't think he'd get a chance to become a Chunin already. He wanted to wait. No, he didn't want to wait. He wanted to become a Chunin already, since he knew he was going to take the test. He did not stop training until the last day, where it was the day before the Chunin exams. Naruto, Kakashi, Sakura, and Sasuke were on the roof where they had first met, and Kakashi was answering questions about the Chunin exams. And Sakura was asking, Naruto, Sasuke were listening. As they were listening, Sasuke asked a question, and Naruto just looked over. Wow, the emo's actually taking part in a conversation. Naruto and the rest of them couldn't help but snicker as Kakashi just looked over at the brooding emo and looked at the anger in his eyes. The next day, they were getting ready for the Chunin exams. They had signed up and waited for them to go into the room. Now, Sasuke and Naruto were walking through the class area until they saw the room. Sasuke was about to point out the genjutsu, but Naruto stopped him, saying, "Don't do it. It's supposed to weed out the weaker opponents, making the test less crowded and easier for us." Naruto had said, and Sasuke was impressed as he decided not to do anything until Rock Lee said, "Hey, I'm Rock Lee. I want to fight." Sasuke was weirded out and said, you think you can take the power of the Uchiha until..." I'm sorry. I just popped my leg. They started sparring until Naruto stepped in the middle of them, blocking both of their punches. He let out a tiny shock, hitting Rock Lee, blowing him back a few feet. Naruto smiled as Rock Lee gave a nice look of impression. Guy ran up and stopped Lee as he was about to open the first gate to attack Naruto, as he realized he couldn't win without it. Even with it, Naruto would still win. Rock Lee was being scolded by Guy, saying, "You should only use the gates in importance, not like this. And even with the gates, you would lose that fight. I've been given reports about his missions and his power. You will lose this fight, even with all of the gates." This made Lee want to fight Naruto more to get his power up, get his strength. "Naruto, I am declaring you my eternal rival." As Lee said this, he walked away, making Naruto's sweat drop. Fine. Naruto said this and walked away, going into the actual classroom where they saw everyone waiting for them. The tuning exams, Naruto said as you breathe in and getting ready. So thank y'all so much. This is actually what I'm going to be doing. This is a bit over 30 minutes, and I'm going to be releasing another video soon. That's going to be the rest of the time. That's going to cover the rest of the tuning exams and probably the Tsunade retrieval arc, and maybe into the Sasuke retrieval arc a little bit. And that's why I'm going to do it, because the thing I am recording on will not allow me to record a 1 hour. I know this from bad experience. I've already recorded this once, and it canceled the recording a good bit through, so it won't let me record a whole hour, and I have to do this. I'm sorry. So thank y'all so much. Be looking for that next part of the 1 hour special. Again, sorry, I won't be able to do it in 1 hour. It's going to be put into two 30-minute videos. That's it. Thank y'all so much. I hope y'all don't mind. Oh, the new intro. Not new, it's the old one. I'm sorry. I had been forced to take it down because of copyright issues. I'm sorry. Hope you don't mind too much. Thank you again. Thank God for, as always, the amazing thumbnail. Go check him out in the description. That's it. I'm Phoenix signing. Be good people.